Hello everyone, it's been a while. Andy McKee, Guitar Doctor UK, professional guitar technician from the UK. I haven't done any videos for a little while. I've had a lot going on this year, a lot of personal changes, and also it started affecting the business because it was too much filming and not enough work getting done, unfortunately. So I had to sort of rein that back. I'm looking to post a bit more now, but it's going to be not as often, and probably won't start properly till the the middle of this year. But this is a bit special, so it's also going to be time-lapse format. I'll talk over it when I get a chance to edit it. That's what it's all about at the time, really. Yeah, but this is a bit special. This guitar on this video was looks like it belonged in a junk shop. Ross, go get your bed. Sorry about the dog. Bed. Yeah, when I got it, it looked like it was come out of a junk shop, but we plugged it in and it sounds phenomenal. So you'll see a video of Piers, the owner of the Grit. That's where my new workshop is, in Lowestoft, in the art centre. And I'm loving being in there, it's good. I'll do a few more videos from there. And yeah, there's a before and after of Piers playing it and what he thinks. There's the processes. It's a long old video. I'm probably going to cut it down. So you won't see everything because the lot of footage is like an hour or something. It's ridiculous. So I'll speed bits up. I'll try and get it all in, but I think I'm going to have to cut a lot off. So it will be quite big jumps between the stages probably. Having said all that, yeah, hopefully you'll enjoy it. You'll get a gist of what's going on, and yeah, all good. Anyway, enjoy the video. See you soon. Hello everyone, Andy McKee, Guitar Doctor UK, professional guitar technician from the UK, and I have with me Piers Colby, who's the owner of the Grit. It's a fantastic venue we're sitting in. You've got a different angle today. Piers is going to play this Gibson for me and give me an opinion on the state of it, really. So,
yes, indeed.
Take it away.
You're right. My opinion is as follows, Andy. As you all know, it's a very posh guitar.
It's a lovely guitar, it really is. But it is
so posh that it's wondering what it's doing in my peasant hands. But it is not flawless. Because there are bits over a rock playing that. Because the frets feel very big.
right
under my dainty fingers.
Yeah.
And that's presumably because they're very old.
Yeah. They're just, there's nothing left of them, they're flat and knackered.
So, action's really too much for me, to be honest. I'd normally have it much lower. And sliding up to things is tricky, to say the least. You know that. You see? You really need to, you know, push yourself up there, and that presumably once upon a time was a smooth ride all the way.
Yes, it would have been, yeah, at one point, back in 1961. So, yeah. But it's in for a refret, and I'll do that, and then Piers and I will sit here again and you can have a go. And
by the crackling fireside.
And yeah, give us an opinion on the finished article.
Yeah. It does sound very
Right.
good.
So we'll see you again for that one, and yeah, have a lovely time.
Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Right, so I've taped up the guitar. I've got a soldering iron with a spade bit. I'll squirt the fingerboard with some water to soften the wood up, then heat the fret, and the glue, the heat in the fret melts the glue and gets all the muck out. You can see it bubbling out the side in the water as you heat it up and it steams, so you'll know when it's ready, because it will do that. Then use your favourite fret removal tool just to remove the fret, really. It's as simple as that. So now I'm removing the nut. I do that with a lolly stick here. I clean all the glue off with a chisel. Then check the level of the neck. Now I'm using a radius block to take some of the wood off, just to radius the fret slots, really, so that they're all even, and when the frets sit down they're nice and flush on the fingerboard. I don't want to take too much wood off because I don't want to change the tone of the guitar, really. So yeah, as little as possible, but it does need doing just to get things even. Now I'm using an X-Acto knife with some shaped blades. I made those on a grinder, and I'm just cleaning the slots out, really. Clean all the muck out, all the dust, all the bits of dirt and things that are going to stop the frets sitting in nicely. Go through all of those and make sure they're all good and clean. Be very careful not to smash the binding off at the sides, because it can easily go through that, so you have to be careful of that. It's yeah, it's a slow process, but it's worth taking your time with it and getting them nice and clean and good as new. After this, we then move on to shaping the frets. I shape a dome on the end, and yeah, and then I'll polish it with various grades of rubber, abrasive rubbers, really. So I'm using a small end dressing file for that, also a crowning file. I also file off the tang on the tips of the frets so that fits over the binding nicely. You can see they fit pretty well. So I then measure the fret, cut it off, and do the same again. It's a long old process. So here I'm pressing the frets in using this jig, fret pressing jig, and a syringe full of, that's just tight bond. I squirt a little bit in the hole. Don't squirt too much because you'll cause a vacuum, and if you try and push the fret in over too much glue, it just won't go in. So yeah, use it sparingly, but definitely use it. Now I'm checking the flat of the neck because I want it flat and straight for the levelling. Pretty self-explanatory levelling. You know, use a levelling beam and just take the frets until they're all level. There's no ink left on top and they're all nice and flat. Then we crown them. I'm using electrician's tape here to protect the fingerboard. I use a fret crowning file, a 3-square jeweler's file, and an end dressing file. And I'm polishing the frets up as I go with the abrasive rubbers. As you can see, the results are pretty good. All the frets are in, they're all level, smooth, and they play like butter. They're lovely. There's no nasty sharp bits on your fingers. That is a fantastic guitar. Now I'm making a nut. So I start off by shaping the actual nut and fitting it so that it fits into the slot bang on, perfect. I've got a jig for that, which you'll see in a little while. It's just off camera there, unfortunately. So we get the shape right, find the centre, and then mark out the where we want the strings to be. That long kind of dome thing on the jig is a string spacing jig, so I'll use that for getting my string spacings. Then I cut those in, just little guides really with the razor saw there, and we'll see a picture in a minute, and it fits like a glove perfectly. Make sure that there's no spaces anywhere. You've got no gaps underneath it or on the edges of it. That's how it should fit, flush and shaped perfectly to the gap that it's meant to fit in. Next, I'm using a StewMac clamp, some Hosco files and the StewMac files. I use the Hosco files to widen the slots up and cut them to depth, and I use the StewMac files to shape the bottom of the nut slot to a perfect dome, and they're pretty good for that. In a moment, I've got a wedge, StewMac wedge, and I use that to trace the top of the nut. And then I will file that down for the final shape, and then again polish it up with sanding sticks from about 200 up to 1500 up to about 6000, and then polish the nut up. And in a moment you'll see that protective tape is Glue Boost stuff. It's like a really thick plastic tape. There we go, nice polished bone nut with the slots cut perfectly. And there's the rest of the guitar having had a clean up, all refretted. Right, now we've gone into the restring. So I set the height, I'm setting that bridge height there, the action, just so that the strings aren't rattling on the new frets. In a moment I'll put the guitar into playing position in the vise and tune it up. There we go, it's in playing position now. So we tune up, ready for the setup. This is adjusting the relief, first thing to do. So you tune up, check the relief, adjust it, adjust the truss rod, check the relief, tune up. And when you're happy with it, then you can move on to the next stage, which here is checking the action. So we're now setting the bridge action. I can't remember what I set it to, but it's up to you. You've all probably got your own preferences on that. And then again, tune up. Cut the strings off and stretch them. You know, like the excess string, not the whole string, obviously. Then again, we tune up, and we go for the intonation in a moment. I set the intonation personally at the 15th and 17th. I'm just checking it plays all right before I go into the intonation. If I don't like it, then I'll adjust it and then go back. But always check everything, every step. Just check that it's, you know, how it should be before you move on to the next step. So this is me setting the intonation here. Tune the 5th fret, then check the 17th fret against it. If it's sharp, then you lengthen the string, and if it's low, flat, you shorten the string. So now this is setting the height of the pickups probably through 30 seconds. That's what I normally set humbuckers to. You press the string down at the very end of the fingerboard, measure, loosen or tighten the screw, and then measure again until you've got it right. And they're normally pretty well balanced. Okay, again, check that it plays okay. Here we go. So this is the guitar. It is, yeah, in good nick. The nut's nice. It's all shiny and looking good. The frets are, you know, nice and domed, shiny like butter. Again, looking good. So yeah, it's all ready to go. We'll move over to the grit in a moment, and you'll hear Piers playing it again. A little outro and a bit of a chat, and then that's it for the video. Thanks for sticking around. I'll see you at some point in the next one. You ready? Okay. That's my little cue. I'll do it again. Hold on. You can't put it down. It is. So, what do you think?
I think it's delicious, Andy. Yes, I do. Yeah. It's much nicer. It's much smoother and slippery and easy to play. You're not getting stuck at any of the places that I was originally getting stuck. Which is good. It's easy to slide up and down. The action is nice and low. It's all round A star. Yeah. You should get a certificate.
That is. It's just a pleasure to work on, really. I love doing this job, and it's nice that it turns out well and it's appreciated. So
Yeah.
hopefully the fellow will be happy. It's
Yeah.
enjoyable.
Enjoyable indeed.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's just such a lovely guitar. You can't.
Yeah.
I can't. I didn't really believe in Gibson before I met this guitar, because I've only ever seen hand ones, and they're not the same.
Yeah.
They're not the same.
This has got a certain something, isn't it? Yeah.
It just has. So yeah, it's a great guitar, phenomenal. But it's just better now because you can play it.
Yeah, it's
Yes. Yeah. So that is that. You'll have seen all the processes in the video because I will have put it all together by the time you see this. And if you need any work, give me a shout, email, comments, whatever. Give me a ring. If you need any rehearsal space or gig space or space for anything,
someone to ruin your videos.
He plays better than I do. Honestly, I did like 15-minute solos that are all the same thing over and over again. So yeah, it's nice to have a real guitarist on the video for once. Yeah, so give Piers a shout if you want anything that you need a venue for. Or you want a cup of coffee or a bowl of soup or a cake, come into the cafe, it's lovely. Or a beer.
We do these things extremely well.
We do, yeah. You always have a friendly face and a good chat. So, yeah, give Piers a shout. I don't know, just look up The Grit on Facebook or the internet and you'll find it.
Yeah.
Or come to the old courthouse in Lowestoft. Anyway, have a lovely time, because I don't know what time of day this is going out, so it's just going to be time for now, and we'll see you in the next one.